everybody. Welcome. We have a superstar. So much of a superstar. Neither one of us knew. So Liz and I was
But we heard all the cheers and we saw people coming out. We're like, we need to know this person.
But when they walked out, we were in the middle of another interview, and all we see is like people saw something. Like, you know, that face was like, come on, we need to go talk to him.
Yes, it's something big.
Like, they was grabbing each other's arm.
Well, we was like,
what happened in there?
Too.
And the line was, they went diagonal. They didn't even go straight back. They had to get in here. Okay.
So tell us a little bit about yourself,
please.
Like who you are, what you do, what your story is.
I guess it's the short version of just coming from Louisville, Kentucky. I was abandoned by both parents at 10 and 11, my dad and my mom, and I literally lived on my own since I was 11. But I didn't drink, didn't smoke, didn't sell drugs. I didn't have to go to jail to be successful. I just worked hard and had a good attitude. Yeah. So I didn't do anything special. I just did the right things. And I think what I try to do now is share that story with people. And so they can avoid a lot of hardships that I avoided as well, and just give them some hope. You know, this generation now is being swayed by social media, but I think if we can post and put more positivity in their mindsets, their thinking will change their actions. The problem is they're acting before thinking. We've lost that simple format. So I'm going around sharing my story, helping Tawana and helping what she's done, and just people like yourselves who are putting out good positive energy. You just want to keep sharing that. The news posts everything negative. Like, let's put some goodwill and good fun in the world so we can smile.
So, I mean, at 11, to be abandoned and to, like you said, I made the right decisions. Like, what motivated you to make different decisions that what other kids in that situation could have probably made?
Well, I saw what it did to my parents. Like, why would I do the same thing that they did? They were drinking, smoking. My dad sold marijuana. It's like, well, I don't want to do that because you're going to go to jail. Like, everything bad comes out of that.
That's right.
So to see a kid actually follow something that's bad kind of didn't make sense to me. And I was just making a kind of a common sense thought process of like, well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to do this. So I just said, let me go work odd jobs, make my own money, get bread bologna, get you some money. Like, it was simple living for me.
Yeah.
I didn't try to be something I wasn't. And I just said, let me do that. I washed my clothes in a cold tub. Scrub them. Like, it's simple stuff. You can survive if you just did the right things. You'd be surprised what the bare necessities would do for a person. And I just kept doing it. I had jars like this, and I would put pennies, nickels, quarters, and I would put them in there, and I would save up to know what I'm doing. So I'm getting a piece of paper. Okay, I got $2 for detergent, $2 here. So I was literally writing a checklist at 11 and 12 and 13 years old.
Wow. Listen, my blue water jug ain't enough in this story. Okay. I thought when you was going with the coins, I was like, I think I can. No, I can't. I don't got that spirit. Well, I would have just. Well, let me just ask a quick question. So, people can always say, yeah, you can do it, but something in you was very much so deep that allowed you to shift your mindset into action. What was it?
The fear of failure. When you get afraid, sometimes you'll do more than you thought you could. How many times you guys been in a situation like, I can't believe I made it out of that?
All the time.
And then you made it, but then you still worry about the next one. I never worried. I just made sure I didn't want to fail, and what did I need to do to make sure I didn't fail? I didn't ask for success. I didn't ask to be famous. When you put yourselves all the way out that way, you put yourself in a position to be let down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you go, like, if you go into a relationship, don't go into it thinking I'm gonna marry him. Go into it if I'm gonna like him. People skip so many processes of getting foundations, and I didn't skip. I said, well, I gotta eat first. I gotta get some clothes.
Right.
And I went through a process. And
Maslow's hierarchy. Maslow's hierarchy is deep because we had to go to that recently when there was tons of stuff going on in the world, and we was like, you know what? People always want to go to, like, why wouldn't a person do this? And it's almost like, you know what? What's their bare necessities? Because something right here is at risk, right? Like, you can't ask a person a big picture question if you don't understand what is the things that they think about every day that they could lose, that can have a loss. So, speaking of the work that you're doing, what exactly happened in that room? Because it wasn't just your story. Those people came out with something in their hand. They had notebooks. What was in those notebooks that you said to them?
You have to read the book.
Oh, is that the book?
Y'all read the
come
book.
on.
Read the book.
Got him. Okay, what's the title of the book?
It's called Stamina. Don't run out of breath before you win.
Okay.
A lot of people, right before you about to win, people quit.
That's true. Yeah.
Wait,
You always quit at the right when it's
It's
about to come.
so-
You always quit, and then you'll look back and say, if I would have just kept going. You know what I mean? Like if you just keep going, like it's hard to be someone who never quits.
I always say I'd rather fail than regret something that I didn't do.
I can live with it.
That's right, yeah.
But y'all also talking as if y'all very athletic folk. It clearly is. Because
Well,
when y'all talking about
he's
keep going
athletic,
without a breath, I was like, wait a minute now.
I hurt
The
both my
stamina
knees
mean-
before I even made it to the NBA. I
What
tore my left
happened?
knee and my right knee up.
What
So
happened? We're doing what?
Playing basketball.
Like recreational?
No, in the games.
Oh.
So my whole career was in jeopardy. But I had already had my life story, my life mindset, so I knew basketball wasn't who I was. It was just something I did.
Oh, so you play professionally too?
11 years in the NBA.
Oh, wow. What was it? You mind telling us?
Drafted by Cleveland, played at Miami Heat, Portland, and San Antonio.
I know that's right. We done all cheer for one of those teams. If you did, don't, you can hang up on the podcast now. But one thing we wanted to ask, I mean, I think a lot of people seek you out for advice. What are some of the things that you found that people who reach out to you are kind of experiencing right now, and what do you usually say to them?
Well, it always depends on where they're at in their lives, too, because experience is the greatest teacher, but knowledge is the key to everything. And it depends on where people are at in their lives. That's where I meet them at. You know, I can't tell them how to live the way I did. They might have the same thought process. They might not have it. Like, you can't teach an elephant to do the same thing as a squirrel would do.
Yeah,
Two different
that's right.
animals with two different types of animals.
That's right.
So for people, it's where they at is where I meet them at and try to get them to go to a better version, better place for themselves.
Wow.
A lot of people don't do that. A lot of people just throw words out and say, well, hey, I made it. No, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, sure.
Just because you made it, like I play basketball, what if I didn't play basketball?
True.
You got to look at life from where people stand at and just give them some ammunition to go out and do what they need to do
Got it.
for themselves.
For themselves.
Don't be someone else. Be who you are. The
love
best
that.
version of you will be the best version of your life.
You know, we don't spend enough time about just being you.
No.
Because some people be like, do you, but they don't really say that means just be exactly who
That's
you
me,
are and
yeah.
show up in the world, right?
Yeah.
And we were just talking to another guest about similarities and differences, and oftentimes we spend so much time in some places when it's real critical on ourselves about what's different versus what are those very things that are most similar that could just make you stronger or have you be your strength.
Absolutely.
And we were just talking about that, and we need that reminder all the time, quite frankly.
Yeah.
But wanted to ask you just really quickly, because I know you have another piece. Why did you say yes to Dr. Burroughs when she called to come to the symposium?
She's making a difference in people's lives, and I want to be considered a person who does the same because you become immortal. When you give love and freely away to people, you become immortal because it never dies. So many people put price tags and stuff that if you just do something nice for someone else, you have actually become immortal. If you told someone you love them, they'll remember that for the rest of their lives. So when she called and told me, hey, I'm helping and doing this, then I'm like, well, I'm coming. I want to just leave something. I'm going to leave more than my name.
That's amazing. And what do you, like, I know you've given a lot to the CDI Symposium, to all of the attendees. What's something that you gained from this experience?
Just seeing other people really not giving up. You know, the news shows so much negative that I see people are still not giving up and they're fighting. So I'm in the fight with them. It's like if you walk out, you know what I mean? If you walked out and you saw people really fighting, you'd be like, I'm with y'all. Y'all ain't gave up. I'm going to quit either. You know what I mean?
I'm going to be right behind him. I'm right behind him. Okay, I'll be on his team. I'm on his team. Yeah.
So.
Well, Derek, thank you so much for taking time to talk to us. I love your story. I'm definitely picking. I'm an avid reader, so
cool.
Yes.
I'm definitely
She
picking
has
up your
a
story.
very interesting book club you got to ask her about. But is there any other ways that people can reach out to you? Is it social media, other things that you want to promote so that we can share it?
I'm doing my life story is going to be on 30 for 30, so it's going to be an ESPN
30 for 30,
story.
that's my jam.
So I'll be on there
so I'll
next
be there.
year.
Okay,
That's amazing.
congratulations.
What a great experience.
Thank you.
You got to give us the date so we can have a little
will.
watch
Yes,
party.
we're gonna have a
We'll
watch
have a
party.
watch party.
Yes.
Yeah, we would love to have you come and be like, that was me, y'all. No, okay. That's how I say it. That's how you say it, though. But that's how I'll be like, okay, that was me, y'all.
Yeah, just go to Stamina Foundation. That's what we do. Kids who do an act of kindness, they get put in my program. But you have to do something nice to get put in. You don't need any money. You don't need to be the brightest kid. You just need to be nice.
That's it.
It doesn't cost a
man.
dime to be kind.
I'm gonna get Benjamin
I
on
know.
that.
We got kids. We got kids.
I have my 8-year-old son. I tell him, I don't care how smart you are or what academically what you achieve. I care more about how you treat people and how kind you are. So he's taken that on.
He has.
And he is going to be a world changer.
Leader.
Yes, he is.
He is, and all his whole thing is about kindness and everything like
He's
that.
very
So
empathetic and
he's
full of joy too.
to the point where I'm like,
cool.
oh my God, something's gonna break his heart. I'm
I
about to go
know.
beat them up.
That's why the TT is here. This is why TT is here. See, this is the good thing about not being, not having any kids. I get to take on all the other kids. I'll be like, so who broke your heart? Let me talk to him. Okay.
Well, Derek, it was
Thank you so much
such a
for
pleasure
joining us.
talking to you.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you
Take
for taking your
care.
time.